Yeah, well, the reality is that the Nigerian university system, at least for the federal universities, the calendar has not been stable over the course of the last almost 30 years now. So staff unions, every now and then they go on strike. And at times students also agitate. We have student unrest. That is what is responsible for this. And for us as a federal institution funded by the federal government, on behalf of the Nigerian people, we know that funding can never be enough. But we are trying, so it has to do with the funding of the university. And most federal universities have this challenge. I mean, we are not giving up. We know that brighter days are still ahead. Even though we are running behind schedule, but we hope in the next few years, we are optimistic that the calendar will become more stable. So we can resume in September and we finish by June of the following year. We are aware of that and we think it's quite disturbing. Every now and then we hear of students committing suicide. And like our new students now, we make it compulsory for them to do screening, medical screening, as soon as they are resuming. And even the recent records from the University Health Service suggest that some of the students have issues with their mental health. So we are trying to see what we can do in conjunction with the University College Hospital, which is the teaching hospital arm of the whole establishment. We know it's a major challenge, but maybe when students have problems with their academics, they could resort to, some of them could think of suicide. Or when, cultism, hard drugs and all that, I think they are all interrelated. All this can affect their mental health. And we also meet with the student body to let them know that if they suspect that any of them is more or less sliding into depression, they should quickly raise alarm such that we are aware in good time and nip it in the bud. But luckily, we've not had many reported cases, but we hope we know that prevention is better than cure. So we are trying all within our powers to make sure that our students and staff also are in good condition of health, physical, mental, and emotional. However, the gap has also always been there, because universities are ordinarily expected to be like ivory tower. But you know that in the 21st century, the role of the university is changing. Apart from teaching students, then the faculty conducting research, then we know that we have to relate more with the immediate society. For us, University of Ibadan is in Ibadan. So we have to relate with the Ibadan community, Oyo State, Southwestern Nigeria, the rest of the country, and even the international community. We have a Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. We have a School of Business. So we try to relate with the larger society. Recently we also we have visited the Distinguished Leadership Lecture Series. Recently we invited the Governor of the Central Bank to come and share his ideas with us, so that it's not only those of us who are in academia, we bring people from the private sector as well to come and share their ideas with us, such that it's going to be win-win for both parties. At the end of the day, we need a synergy between those of us in academia, the government, because they are proprietor, as well as the private sector as part of the triple helix. So you have academia, government, and industry. So that will take care of all the stakeholders. We try to improve on our internally generated revenue. Recently the Governing Council approved that we should establish a limited liability company, whereby some of the activities in the university can be farmed out. And we need to be more relevant to the immediate community, like I've just said. And we have UI Ventures that has been there maybe for the past almost 40 years now. But the truth of the matter is that funding the university is really capital intensive. So we need all possible income streams, whether from fees paid by students or government, our proprietor, our alumni. We have maybe over 200,000 alumni spread all over the world, and they are contributing to human development in various parts of the world. So we also need to tap into their goodwill, their time, their resources, and their talent that they can plow back to support their alma mater. Yeah, I bet our students and staff, of course, that is the primary reason why we are there. Research is very central to everything we do. Otherwise, it won't be any different from a glorified secondary school. So every November, shortly before the convocation, we have a town and gown, we have a research and innovation day, actually over 2 days, whereby we showcase research products coming out of the University of Ibadan. So our faculty, our students, they are making efforts, and it's an ongoing thing. So we even have a publication on the societal impact. Like I mentioned, the fact that we have a Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Many of our faculty members have patents that are registered with the National Office of Technology Acquisition in Abuja. So if they have patents and inventions, those can also, in the medium term, bring more resources to the university. Yeah, the university has been there for the past 70 years, so we think we are making efforts, but the next 70 years will even be much better for us. So the future is very bright for the University of Ibadan to contribute to national and international development.